And sometimes God says, I hate you, Alfalfa. What up, though? Welcome to the Hyphen Universe Show. I'm your host, Kellen Conley, aka B Hyphen. I say that because I put together a tight 21 minutes. It was tight 21 minutes for y'all. And I turned off the recording. I looked at OBS, and OBS is like, nah, fam. Your mic's not on. So here we are. Me oh my. So I want to talk about a movie I saw. And yes, it is that particular movie that you may be thinking of. So what had happened was I was in town. I was at my dad's house Friday night, November the 10th. Purchased tickets to go see the Marvels at 10 a.m. at Alamo Drafthouse. I was excited because this would be my second time going to Alamo Drafthouse. And the first time sucked because the Eternals sucked. And I've not watched the Eternals since. So I was hoping to have a better core memory for Alamo Drafthouse. So I bought tickets Friday night. I told Dad, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go in town early, go to cemetery, and then I'll go to the movies at 10. He's like, all right, cool. So I get up, have some coffee, get dressed. 20 minutes into Winchester, about half an hour to get to the cemetery. Hang out at the cemetery where my mom and my stepfather Paul are buried for a while. Call Angel, talk on the phone a little bit. And then it's like, oh, it's almost 10. I'm going to head over to the Alamo so I can watch this movie. So I can watch the Marvels. So I get there probably about 15 minutes before 10. And I'm like, I'll get a little bit and I'll go. And the parking lot didn't have that many people. I was like, maybe not a lot of people want to come to a 10 o'clock show of the Marvels on a Saturday morning. Especially considering, some people are like, ew, girl movie, girl superhero movie, ew, Brie Larson, whatever. I wanted to see the film. So, gets close to 10. So I get out of my car, lock it up, pull out my phone, got my ticket ready. And I'm looking 10 a.m. November 12th. I don't have my watch on right now, but it's November 11th. I bought tickets for Saturday. Sorry. Bought tickets for Sunday, not Saturday. Great job. So I get back in my car. I check to see next show time is. I don't even think Alamo was open yet. Next showing is at 12:30. I think it was the first 2D showing of the day. So I buy that ticket. And I'm like, I'll get the other one refunded. But now I'm sitting here and it's like 10 after 10, 10:05. And I got nothing to do. So only thing I can think of is to wander down to the Apple Blossom Mall. And then when that gets boring, I'll go to Books A Million. Was the idea. I'll just flip through the graphic novel section for a while, kill some time, catch up. Ain't nobody going to be in there really. So why not? So I go to Apple Blossom Mall. And let me tell you, I had probably one of the best mall experiences I've had in a long time. Like, I'm a true believer. Like, I follow Doomy Grunt on YouTube. He actually walks through malls that are either dead or dying. And he's actually been to Apple Blossom Mall and to the Morgantown Mall and the Mountaineer Mall. And goes all over the country and just like films on his little phone, like whatever, his camera that's on his hip. And just films how the malls are dying across the country. Something we've known. Thanks, Jeff Bezos. That mall was full of life. And I have not been in a mall that was that full of life in years. Years. Like, it was probably 2017, 2016, the last time I was in a mall that was really busy. Because, look, Mountaineer Mall was dead before I moved here 20 years ago. The Morgantown Mall wasn't, but even when I worked there, and especially after I stopped working there, and when I leave the mall, I left the mall officially in 2012. Stores were leaving. Of course, major chains had closed, like KB Toys and Walden Books. They had closed. Eventually, Sears shuttered across the country. So our mall kind of sucks, yo. We got the food court, but we have a JCPenney. But now the anchor stores or a Dunham Sports. It was like a knockoff Dick's. Maybe it came before Dick's, but Dick's does it better. I'm not saying it. I'm a grown man in 2023. You'll be okay. And then we have Ollie's. If you're into Ollie's, which is like a discount outlet, that's cool if you're into that. And we have a Bell's, which is like a discount, not a discount, but it's like a TJ Maxx. So the anchor stores are kind of meh. Finish Line is there. Hibbett Sports is there. But in my mall, like, we have a store that sells kneel for the cross and stand for the flag shirts, and you're not taking my guns without a fight, that kind of stuff. All that nastiness. They sell a whole shop that sells that kind of stuff. There's nail salons that aren't even open half the time when I'm in there. There's a comic book store, but the comic book store doesn't do well selling comic books. It does better with gaming. So it's one of the more popular stores. The shoe department's still there. Shoe department Encore. They got all this space in there now. Shoe department don't even sell freaking Nikes anymore, man. So our mall sucks. But the Apple Blossom Mall was amazing. Like, it had people. It wasn't crowded, but there was people shopping, couples, teenagers. I mean, the AMC Theater was in there. JCPenney. I can't remember any of the anchor stores that was there, but I literally walked around this mall for roughly an hour and a half, and I didn't get bored. I kept finding things to check out. I went into the shoe stores. I went into GameStop. I almost said EB Games, but Electronics Boutique. But I went into GameStop, checked some stuff out. Our mall doesn't even have a GameStop anymore, which is crazy. I didn't go in Lids because Lids always gets me in trouble. One, I mean, there's not much I can do with my hair anymore with a hat. I love a hat, but I mean, I got hair now, so there's that. I actually went into the candy store they had in there, and their deal was if you buy a pound of candy, it's like $16, something like that. And they have all kinds. You could just scoop your own. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to scoop a little bit. I'll like spend, I don't know, $5 to $7 on some candy, have it just walk around, eat some candy. Had a couple pieces too much. Because, I don't know what happened. But, yeah. It wasn't that. It was like $12. But I had a bunch of nice, good, fresh candy. It was delicious. But I went into FYE. They have an FYE still. The one in Morgantown closed within the last 5 years. And it started going downhill way before it closed. And they had a whole wall full of pops. It's actually on my Instagram if you want to check it out. DB Hyphen. THEBHYPHN. No big deal. Whole wall of pops. And I was looking through all the pops and stuff. I fancy myself a light pops collector. I could easily buy every pop I see and have a whole wall behind me of pops. But I try to get pops that mean stuff to me. If something really catches my eye, I'm willing to buy it. So I'm looking around. I'm seeing some decent stuff, but I'm like, I don't think I want to spend that much on a pop. You know, I'm going to the movies. I'm going to probably eat at the movies. Plus, I got to get home from Winchester. You know, trying to be conservative. I found for $2.99 this gem right here. Let me make sure it's not in the glare. T-Buys, man, from the Ooh on the TLC tip era. $2.99. And y'all know that one of my favorite albums of all time is Crazy Sexy Cool. And one of my favorite groups of all time is TLC. R.I.P. Left Eye, man, but I mean, they made some dope ass music together, man. A lot of good ass music came out of TLC. So I got that for $2.99. I found a ton of vinyl in there. I didn't pull the trigger because, again, trying to save money, but they had a bunch of vinyl. They had some newer stuff in there. They had a good CD collection. I didn't go too heavy on the DVDs because I have stacks upon stacks of DVDs that I really need to just donate and get out in the world for somebody else to enjoy them instead of sitting in my basement. But, yeah, I was in FYE. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then I stopped at this little ornament stand because me and Angel always get a couple ornament. We do a family ornament. We do, and I think Aaliyah gets her ornament, and then the dogs get their ornament. It would start with Brooklyn, R.I.P., and then Marley and Evie get their own ornament. Found this little ornament with five reindeer. The two in the middle look like parents. The other three look like kids. So I bought that, had them customize it. I came back after the movie to grab it, and I just had an excellent time in that mall, man. I thought I'd just walk up one end, walk back the other one, and then go to Books A Million. But I didn't even have to go to Books A Million. Had an amazing time. So finally, I leave the mall, head over back to Alamo, which is only a couple minute drive back to the Alamo. Go inside, go talk to the guy at the stand. I'm like, hey, I accidentally bought tickets for 11:12. I'm not going to be here. Can I get this refunded? He was newer, so he went and found out how to do it. Very nice gentleman, took care of me. Then I go to the front to actually check in. She's like, oh, just take it inside. Because I didn't remember, because my last experience was during the Eternals. Like, I blacked out. Other than arriving and leaving the Eternals, I barely remember anything other than I think I had the steak sandwich. That's the only thing I remember. That's the only thing I remember. So I go see the Marvels. I ate the cheese royale with cheese while I'm there. Have some chips and queso. Excellent. 2 or maybe 3 Blue Moons. Excellent. Great service. The movie. What was that? Oh, I knocked that over. The movie was the most fun I've had watching an MCU film in a long time. Now, as much as I stand for No Way Home, I look at No Way Home as more of a Spider-Man universe, Spider-Verse film. Especially with Toby and Andrew being involved and it bringing back all those characters. Yes, it had effects on the MCU. Yes, Doctor Strange was in it. But I have not had this much fun in a movie theater watching an MCU movie in a long time. Maybe even since Endgame? Maybe? That's crazy to say, but this movie is good. And I know that there's the Captain America He-Man Woman Haters Club out there, Captain America, Captain Marvel He-Man Woman Haters Club out there, who don't like Brie Larson, don't like Captain Marvel, don't like anything he stands for. Look. I saw Captain Marvel in the theater. I thought it was good. Kind of nodded out during her final fights with the Kree at the end. That was because I had too many Blue Moons before the movie. So I try not to do that often. But I enjoyed it. And then I watched it in quarantine and I was like, this is good. This is fine. It didn't wow me. It wasn't perfect. Brie Larson didn't have a whole lot to do with her character because it was literally like, this happens to you, this happens to you, this happens to you, this happens to you, this happens to you. The movie's over. And it didn't give her a whole lot of room to develop Carol as a character. But in her other appearances, such as Endgame, when she fights Thanos and they have the women come together scene and stuff, and she saves Tony in the beginning, I loved all of that. I thought it was it established Captain Marvel. Different from the comics, but still established Captain Marvel in the MCU. So I was looking forward to seeing her sequel. And then when we're adding in Monica Rambeau from WandaVision, and then adding in Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan from Miss Marvel, which I have not watched. Yes, there's still some MCU shows I haven't watched, but I watch YouTube, and I'm currently back on Frasier, man. It is what it is. I'm gonna watch him, and especially after this movie, because Kamala steals the whole show. Kamala steals the movie right under from Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau. And she's great. Her family's great. Fury is like this grumpy old Fury that I've never seen before. He gets to actually have fun. He says something about black girl magic at one point that's hilarious. This movie's funny as hell, too. It's funny. So funny. So Fury was cool in it. We got Flurkin. We got Goose, the Flurkin back. We got Cats. No spoilers. And then Monica Rambeau is like the straight man, the straight woman of it all. And even though she is the one everything's kind of bouncing off of, her character gets a little bit of development from WandaVision. Her and Carol reunited for the first time since Carol told her in Captain Marvel, I'll be back. Like, I assumed that off screen, Carol came back and saw her. But no, like, Carol never came back. And then, obviously, Monica blipped out. Her mom died. She came back. Her mom's dead. Still no Carol. She gets powers, and here we are. And so we get some nice moments between them. Kamala's over here fangirling about Captain Marvel, and Brie Larson actually gets to bring Carol Danvers to life versus just being, I'm Captain Marvel. And the plot is good. This movie just moves so quickly and goes by so fast. It's highly enjoyable. Now, would I sit here and be like, you know what, at 6 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going to go by myself and go watch Captain Marvel again, watch the Marvels again? But if some friends said, hey, we're going to go check out the Marvels, you want to come? I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to go watch that with y'all. And this will probably be the first Disney Plus film that I make it a point, Disney Plus MCU movie, that I make a point to actually sit down and rewatch this film when it comes out, because it's that enjoyable. And it has a lot of fun action. It develops the Captain Marvel side parts of the MCU very well. So that it can stand on its own without having to tie it into the multiverse and all this other stuff that they're going into. But it's easily, next to No Way Home, my favorite MCU release that's come out. Before I'd say Shang-Chi, Wakanda Forever, I love for personal emotional reasons, because it continued, it wrapped up T'Challa's story in the MCU very nicely, I thought. It has its problems, and I've only watched half of it since it's come out on MCU Plus, on Disney Plus. So this is going to be a film, I believe. Like my Letterboxd, I think I gave it a 4.5 on Letterboxd. I think this is going to be another entry film for the MCU, because when you think about MCU entry films, you think about Iron Man, The Avengers, Ragnarok, Guardians 1. Some will say Guardians 2. Some will even say Infinity War Endgame. Maybe Homecoming, which is kind of like Aaliyah and Angel's starting point. I haven't gotten to go much further past that other than the Spider-Man movies, but some people come in that way. So I really feel like I actually set a reminder earlier on the pod that actually recorded. In 2 years, depending on what's happening on November 21st, 2025, I'm going to get a reminder to see what the impact is of the Marvels on the MCU as a whole. I feel like it's going to be a major turning point in the phases. It's going to be bring in new fans, and despite its box office and despite people saying, "Oh, it's a flop," blah blah blah, they suck, blah blah blah, Brie Larson, you suck, blah blah blah. I really think it's going to be a game changer, and it's going to set a new standard for where the MCU films can go without having to be so convoluted and drug down in continuity. Wonderful little film. Great job all around. Great casting. Great director. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm excited to see what its impact is as we go forward. And that mid-credit scene, boy. That mid-credit scene, boy. There's a theme song running through my head right now. And if you connect it to something I just said a few minutes ago, you'll know what I'm talking about. Hopefully that doesn't spoil it for you. If it does, it's still so worth seeing. It's still so worth seeing. I texted Angel, was like, OMG, 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 OMG. And I was like, that was about the movie. Because I didn't want her thinking something really bad had happened. And I told her the other night, like, yo, this happened. You remember this from this movie a long time ago? Well, this happened. And hopefully that means this. And she's like, that sounds really cool. She's so supportive. So supportive, man. So go see the Marvels. Please. Forget the haters. Forget the reviews. It's a good-ass movie. Go watch the movie. Shout out to Tom and Derek, man. Before I go, I want to send a special shout out to my a friend of mine who I ran into at the grocery store. Stopped for some pico de gallo and some low-carb wraps and some tequila so I can make some Thanksgiving palomas. And I saw he walked past me as I was coming up down. I'm like, yo, what's up? He's like, hey, what's up? And we sat and talked about our kids for a little. It was probably like 10 minutes. We just stood there in front of the liquor section, just catching up. And I was like, all right, I'll see you later. And A little bit later, we're checking out. He runs into me and he jokes with me, and I put my basket up. I'm like, oh, I'll wait for him. So he comes up, we walk out the store together, and we talk for another 10 minutes. And it reminded me of all the good times that we had when we were younger. We were like inseparable. We worked at Teletech together. That's a call center here in Morgantown. And we literally were together almost every single day of the week. Like we were as close as brothers at one point. A day did not go by that I did not talk to this gentleman. And then as time passed, and then our living situations changed, and I got more involved in the music, and he went more. He got a job at WVU in IT, and he started growing that direction. And I'm still in retail and everything at the time. We naturally grew apart, but being able to reconnect like that, and I spent an extra 25 minutes just talking to him in the store today. I could have been in and out within 10 minutes easily, and it was worth it to have that time to kind of catch up. And of course I walked out of there. I was like, man, I really need to hit him up, and maybe we can get together outside work and catch up. But it was nice to fall back in step with him in that way, where it was like nothing no time had passed at all. So my takeaway from that is reach out to those people that you feel like that you're missing in your life and you want to spend time with them. But even if you're unable to for some weird reason, if you have that 20 minutes to spend in the grocery store talking to them one random night, do it, man. Do it. It's well worth it, man. Unless they're like, it's a toxic relationship, don't do that. Toxic friendship, they're trash. Maybe you were trash at one point. Don't do it. Don't rehash bad memories. Only good memories. Only good memories. One thing I want to do on the Hyphen Universe show is I really want to try to focus on mental health on a regular basis. So as I'm hoping to record the last episode of Hyphen Nation next couple of weeks and put it out. So as I start to sit down and do this on a 20-minute basis, hopefully on a weekly basis, I'd like to kind of do a mental health breakdown at least once a month, just to see where I am, and hopefully spur some discussion, some thoughts with y'all. Because that's a field that I am really attached to, and I find joy in helping others cope with whatever they got going on. I'm a listener. I'm listening. So that's just who I am. So, and I've done a few episodes on Hyphen Nation about it, but it's something I just want to consistently come back to on the Hyphen Universe show. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all listening to my voice or watching me on YouTube. Hopefully I look good. I know my hair look kind of crazy. Threw my hoodie on, your boy. Thumbnail. Hit my mic. Dead air is bad for the pod. So, yeah. Appreciate y'all listening. If you're watching on YouTube, if you don't mind hitting like, leave a comment. We can discuss things I can talk about on the show. If you want to hit that bell, you won't miss any notifications. And if you want to hit subscribe, that'd be cool too. And then, of course, you'll be part of the Hyphen Universe, man. That's what's up. That's what is up. Or if you just listen on your regular podcast listening platform, I appreciate that too. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, 5 stars, leave a rating. Appreciate that. So if you want to get a hold of me, it's b-at gmail.com or at b- on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. But again, I really appreciate y'all's time. Appreciate y'all listening to the sound of my voice. Go see the Marvels. Reconnect with that friend. Go find him. Maybe go enjoy them all. I don't know. I say all that to say this. Thanks, y'all.